Alright, welcome everybody. So today's video is my review of How to Get Away with Murder. Something bad happened. And I think that's episode 611. I believe that's what it is, but I think it's 611. So anyways, again, another great, really good episode. Again, another episode in which so much was happening, and it was happening pretty fast, but it was really good. So basically, I'm going to just skim through some of the important points. It's easier to just to go through the points than trying to tell the entire story that happened. Main point is Philip is still after the group. He has video of the group everywhere. He's watching the group because he knows the group had a big hand in that murder. So he, of course, he's videotaping everything and videotaping everywhere they go. So Annalise decides she's just gonna have to do the drastic and go to the DA and say, "Hey, listen, Philip is out there. He's recording our group. I need you to help you find it. At the same time, I need immunity when you see the videos." The DA is a little sneaky, so he tries to underhandedly go and have her entire office searched, but she kind of tricked them into getting the immunity for the group, at the same time forcing their hand to try to send investigators to find Philip. So that's taken care of. So next thing we go to is Wes. Wes refuses to come back to the group, no matter what anyone says. And I'm having a blank right now, the girl with the black hair's name, but it seems like there's nothing she can do to get Wes to get back to the group. She wants Wes to go and talk to Annalise and ask Annalise questions about his mother, but he doesn't want anything to do with her. Instead, he's going to the therapist and asking the therapist questions, or at least talking with her. I really do wish he would just go and talk to Annalise. It would solve a lot of this stuff. But anyways, the main important thing about this particular episode is the flashback. So let's go to the flashbacks. So we go back again from the beginning of the episode. Wes's mother is with Eve. And she's from ICE. So she's saying, listen, we won't deport you if you just testify at the hearing, at the case that Annalise is actually is the lawyer for. And this is, of course, flashback 10 years prior. And so she agrees to do it if she's allowed to leave. And so, Eve is like, hey, I do what, Eve goes back to the hotel where Annalise is and it's like, listen, I got Wes's mother to go ahead and testify. This is when Eve finds out that Annalise is pregnant. We've already know that Eve and Annalise had a lesbian relationship, and then Annalise broke it off. Eve is kind of upset by it. She thought Annalise broke it off because she was afraid, but Annalise was like, no, I was just experimenting, and that was it. Nothing more. I love men. I'm not gay. I'm out to have a baby, and that's it. So that's pretty much their aspect of the story. So when we go back to Wes's mom. Wes's mom is pretty terrified about the whole situation, which makes a lot of sense. She's going through a lot of emotions. Her thing is just to gather her son and leave. And so that's what she does. She gathers Wes, packs things, goes in a car, and she's leaving. And in between that aspect of leaving, Wes decides he's going to run out of the car, and I guess he's trying to run back home. She decides she has no choice but to go back home and wait for Wes. In the meantime, Annalise gets a call from her client's father, this rich, crazy jerk, and it's telling him, it's like, listen, she's leaving, Wes's mom. She's about to take off. You need to go back and convince her and make sure that she does not leave. So Annalise, really wanting to win this case, goes back to Wes's old house, and sees his mother there. She's trying to convince her and say, listen, you need to testify. These are some dangerous people. They might hurt your son. And of course, Wes's mom gets terrified. She was like, they're going to hurt my son. Oh my God. She's scared, which makes sense. I would be terrified too, as a bunch of crazies were threatening to hurt my son. Long story short, she looks at Annalise and she says, you know what? Do whatever you can to protect my son. And she stabs herself in the neck. And Annalise, instead of calling 911, decides not to, because I guess she didn't want her phone being traced that she was there when she committed suicide. So she leaves, and Wes comes to the house and sees his mother laying on the floor with a knife to her and takes the knife out, which is not what you're supposed to do. But, he's a kid. He's a 9-10-year-old kid. That's what he does. He takes the knife out, and Annalise runs out. And that's how that flashback scene pretty much end. And it was really like, wow. It was kind of scary. And in a way, you pissed off at Annalise because she put that woman in a corner that she felt that she had no other choice but to kill herself and leave her son to be an orphan. I think a story that might come up in future episodes is who was Wes's father. I think that's going to be some. At first, I thought Wes's father might be one of the might be that Annalise's client's dad, but I don't think they're going there with the story. So that's how that particular flashback ends. So now we know why Annalise feels so drawn to Wes. She feels guilty. She caused his mother to die. She caused the change of his life, and plus, and Wes's mom told Annalise, "Take care of my son." So that's why it was easy for him. I guess he got placed in a really good home, and Annalise made sure that happened. And the fact that he got into a college with getting off the waiting list, and she also made sure that he was geared towards her class. She set it all up to take care and protect him because she felt so guilty about what she caused, what she and Eve caused. So that's the whole connection between Annalise and Wes. At first, I thought it was mother and son, but now we know what the real connection is. Kind of a sinister connection, but there it is. So that's why she's almost like a motherly figure to him. And actually, Wes's therapist actually brought that up, that the relationship between Wes and Annalise is almost motherly. And it makes sense, why. I saw a lot of that last season as well, of a motherly figure towards Wes. So now we know why. So the mystery of that Wes's past has been slowly being peeled away, and we're seeing more and more of his past and what happened in the connection, which is very dark. But the show is very dark all around. Pretty dark. So anyways, fast forward back to the future, or to current. Wes kind of figures it out. He sees some documents that has Eve's name on it, and he actually goes to find Eve. Now, at the same time, Annalise is being told, hey, listen, you've got to talk to Wes. You've got to give him some answers. So she goes to Wes's house. She's like, okay, fine, let me go to Wes. And she knocks on his door to try to give him some answers. He won't open the door. She leaves a note underneath the door. He takes it, and well, at least we thought he took it. She opens the door to go in and talk to him, and she doesn't see him, and she gets a call from Eve. It's like, hey, Wes is here. He wants to see me. Why? And then that's when she realized, oh my gosh, it wasn't Wes that took the paper under the door. It's not Wes that is in the house. And she tells Eve, call 911. Someone's in his house. And I knew immediately that it was Philip. And then we see Philip pretty much tackle Annalise to the ground. And she's fighting for her life. So that's kind of how that ended. She's fighting for her life with Philip, and hopefully Eve has called the police. So that's pretty much where we are at the moment. Oh, and the rest of the group, all they're doing really is trying to survive while under the threat of Philip. So that's pretty much what's going on. So anyways, really good episode. I really enjoyed it. Again, I like the fact that we finally understand the connection between Wes and Annalise. What I'm even more excited to find out next week's episode is what happened to Annalise's baby. She was definitely pregnant. Oh, and that was a conversation that Annalise and Eve had about the pregnancy. It's very obvious that Annalise did not initially want this baby. It was her husband who wanted this baby, but she obviously in there felt that it was time, and she wants to be a good mother, and she doesn't know if she's going to be a good mother. It might be a reason why she never wanted kids anyways, but she really wanted this boy, the son that she was supposed to have. So we know currently there is no baby, so it's kind of like, okay, so what happened to it? So next week episode is going to be a really good episode. We're going to find out exactly what happened to Annalise's baby. I'm assuming that it died, because she did mention in the episodes about miscarriages. So I don't know if she miscarried the baby or something. I mean, I don't know. I'm just like, obviously the baby is not here. I would hate to hear that the baby died. That would really suck if that's actually what happened, that the baby actually just died. And I would rather that she secretly gave it for adoption and that she could go and find the baby or something like that. But my gut feeling on what happened with my gut feeling is that baby died. Yeah, it died. So we did see a preview of what next week's episode with her having a C-section, and yeah, and her husband comes in, and then that's about it. So that's all we know. So next week we'll find out more information about what happened to the baby, Wes and his talk with Eve, and the rest of the group's reaction, and Philip. We'll see if they finally catch up to Philip. So, okay. So that was it. I will catch you next week. So don't forget to like and subscribe if you like these videos, and check out some other videos as well. Watch with me. I've got a bunch of other videos out on some of my favorite shows. So, anyways, thanks for watching. I will catch you next week on another great episode of How to Get Away with Murder. That one is titled, let me see if I know what that title of that one episode is. It might not even have, oh, it's called There's My Baby. So that's going to be interesting. There's My Baby. All right, thanks, and have a good day. I see you next week. Thanks for watching.